Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. Kind of. This is another non-recorded one because, yeah, that's just how it goes. I'm Brian.
And Lizzie, and we're here this evening with our new friends out of Cleveland. We've been doing a lot of Cleveland bands this last handful of months, so that's good to know there's good music out there. Our friends, As Time Fades, thanks so much for joining us.
That's not going to transfer to audio very
It's
well.
not. It's not. You got to go to the YouTube video to see the shirts. They let you know where everybody's from. Yeah, we'll let you go around, introduce yourselves, let everybody hear your voice and know what you guys sound like, and yeah.
All right. Toby, go.
Oh, okay. Are we actually doing fun facts about ourselves?
Sure, go for it.
Do it.
Whatever you want,
fun
man.
fact.
Say whatever you want.
All right. My name's Toby. I am the drummer of As Time Fades, and I'm passionate about my dog. You might see if you're watching the video over here. He's sitting outside the door. He really wants in, so you might hear him. And then also, I'm passionate about playing my drums while the guitar players are trying to tune.
Yep.
Can't really good at that. Yeah, he's really good at that.
That is every drummer, and damn.
At least you own up to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no shame.
I am Danny. I play lead guitar and backup vocals. I am passionate about the game of Magic the Gathering
Oh, hell yeah.
because I am a nerd. I'm a huge
yes,
nerd.
you are.
Very nice.
Hey, what's up? I'm Skylar. I'm Skylar. I play bass in the band. I'm passionate about rugby. I played that in college and going to start playing again soon.
Very nice.
Ooh.
And I'm Dan. I'm lead vocals and rhythm guitar. And I'm just super passionate about music. It's been part of my life since I was a kid. And, well, here we are.
Here we are. You are, excuse me, you are literally sitting in front of like a bunch of equipment. Well, I guess it's really rock band drums, isn't it?
Yeah, we got the rock band drums over here. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
important.
Hey, that's
It's
where
important.
it all starts, baby.
Fuck yeah.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah, it does.
It does translate. That's the thing, is that it actually does. Like, you
It does.
can learn how to play, and then you're sitting behind a drum kit and playing while somebody's tuning.
Yeah, fun
It's
fact.
kind of
Dan's
how I
actually the
learned to
best
play.
drummer in the band.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn straight, guys.
By far.
Damn, Danny.
Wow, the burns are coming. I can't believe we might come out of this. It may be fractured. I don't know.
Yeah.
As long as the song is mapped by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, you can crush it.
Oh.
Exactly.
That's right.
Cool. Well, we have you on tonight for, specific reason. Your EP, Trust Fall, came out on July 16th. Why don't we talk a bit about that? Let people know about that EP coming out.
He wants to take it.
It's all you.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
okay.
If you let me talk, I'll talk the entire time. It's Trust Fall. It's 7 tracks of just awesomeness. It's a fun, emotional roller coaster. We had the pleasure of working with Seb Barlow for mixing and mastering, and we got it produced by our buddy Scooter Fort. He's been involved in like all our projects thus far, and yeah, it's just 7 songs that we really, really like hammered home. And I think you'll like it.
Yeah, about 2.5 years in the making. Here we are.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, COVID did not help that one bit.
Nope.
No.
Was everything already done or like in the process of being finished when COVID hit, or was there like more fine tuning during COVID?
So we finished writing and we were about to go in the studio right as COVID hit. So as it hit, Scooter, he was kind of hesitant to get started. And so we waited until like a couple months later. And that's when we started getting into the studio to get everything done.
Yeah, we started like right at the end of May, and the game plan was to go in like early May, if not late April, to get started. So like, let's take a little bit of time, make sure the world's like okay-ish before we all huddle into the control room together.
Yeah, because I think that was right when our lockdown ended, if I'm remembering that correctly. So we had a lockdown for like 2 months kind of thing, and then when they opened up, that's when we started getting in.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Thank you, Toby.
You're welcome.
Good insight.
We did it, yeah. I could imagine, like, I mean, was there a lot of writing going on, or was it really like 2.5 years? Obviously, is like a lot of emotion, a lot of energy is put into that kind of a thing over that long of a period of time. Obviously, probably changed from the beginning to when you actually were recording and doing all that. But was there a lot of writing and a lot of creation during that time, and a lot of like, this now means something else to me rather than what it meant before?
Yeah, I'd say like the first like after Paid For was released, a lot of it was just like trying to figure out how we wanted to approach it, I guess. And then I think we started writing Marionette. That was like the first one that we managed to actually hammer out. And that was like maybe a year or so before we even started really hammering out the other 6, just because like we just didn't know really where we wanted to go with it, I think. But towards like, the beginning of 2020, I think we really started to like really lock in and start figuring out where we wanted to go. And we started getting these songs just like back, right, left and right, and started getting it done.
Yeah, because Marionette was like the first song we did like to completion. We're like, oh, we don't hate this. Let's keep it.
That's pretty much how it goes, yeah.
That kind of like set the entire tone of, okay, here's the like sound profile sort of we want to go with, and that kind of set the tone for the other 6 songs that followed it.
Yeah, after we finished growing season, we went to a new practice space, but the room was just it was just a black box with no windows. And it was just like we couldn't get anything creative going in there. So once we left there, I think that's when everything started clicking.
We got a sticker out of it.
We did get a
That was
sticker.
cool.
It's-
Okay.
Don't be a
One
bitch.
sticker.
Don't
Yeah.
be a bitch.
And it's in our practice space right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you all put it in your one practice space. You didn't try to like, catty hair in it from like Mean Girls, and, like break it off. You get one. You get one.
We could do that.
I'm interested in the fact that, like, I mean, obviously, like, you want like some sort of outside stuff to like come into you, so not having windows might affect writing and being like in a room and like, this is really depressing. Just being in a
vitamin
black
C,
square.
serotonin.
I don't know what those are.
It
All
was
of
pretty
the
much like a
above.
prison cell.
Yeah.
It was pretty fucking bad.
Sometimes I'm like, I just want to sit in a space like that where like I don't have that distraction, just to like focus on the one thing. But I could also be like, I need to look outside and see a tree or something, because I can't.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel comfortable.
I need to remember that there's trees and grass outside, and to remind myself to go and touch it every once
Blows
in a
my mind.
while. So I can
Yes.
feel it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, what else was there? It was like across the room from us too, because like it was like a building that was just full of just like practice spaces, like these rooms. And across the hall from us, they practiced with the door open. Yeah, Danny's laughing. It was literally like this like super hard, just like metal band that sounded like they brought their fucking chihuahua and put them on the microphone. I don't know what was happening over there, but hey, they were living for it, man.
They were there
Cigarette
like every
smoke
day.
and fucking like every day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It did.
Indoor
Yeah, dude, it
cigarette
was-
smoke in 2021.
Yep.
Wow.
Hate that.
Yeah, that place was just not helpful at all.
Nope.
Yeah, it was good because it was super close to where we were playing at a lot. So it was like a 10-minute drive, which was cool. But
Like
That's about it.
That was like the only upside.
And there's no stairs.
yes,
There
Yeah,
were
that's
no
true.
stairs. No
that
stairs.
was a real big win.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, for a drummer, absolutely.
No, not even me. This guy's bass cab.
Also the bass
is
cab.
Really, really heavy.
It's an Ampeg Classic SVT 4x10, and those things, if you don't know, are like 95 pounds
Yeah.
at their lightest.
Yeah,
They're big son of bitches.
so frustrating.
And this was before Toby had a cymbal stand bag too. So like we were carrying those stands one by one. It was. That's why it was so much better. Like loading up
I don't
was a
know why you-
cinch.
Have to call me out like that.
I'm just saying we didn't have one. I'm not mad at you for it. You got one, and I was like, thank
I wasn't
fucking God.
professional at all. This was like 3 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a long time.
It was a different time. It was a very different time.
This really sounds like you guys would be on like HGTV, like House Hunters. You're like, I'm looking for a band space, and it's just all of you trying to put your input
my
in to
God.
find one,
That should
one
be a
congruent
series.
band space.
Oh my god.
This is the new
HGTV,
series.
if you're here, hit us up at our email. business@asktimefates.com because
Yeah.
we're fucking in.
I'm pretty sure everybody in this scene, for the most part, at least I know Brompton from Action Adventure will Matt because he told us he's like, I love watching HGTV. I'm like, you know what? At
Yeah.
least there's one person who would watch it.
Oh, dude.
Oh hell yeah.
I've been watching like Tiny Homes show on Netflix.
I love Tiny Homes.
And like,
I gotta check that out.
I mean, it's essentially the same as, being in a little black box, but it has windows and you can see out and all that.
And you can move it, and you can be like, I'm not
Yes.
happy here.
There was one guy on it who was like, yeah, I like to practice my banjo. And it's like, okay, don't move here. Don't do
Yeah.
this.
It's
Don't
like,
be in
What?
this
bad
place.
idea. Bad
Yeah.
idea.
But he's like, yeah, no, I just need like a little space. And they're like, oh, we're gonna give you like a little a door that you can kind of move in front of it, and it's got soundproofing on it. And I'm like, this is how a divorce happens. This is how people end up not being together because for some reason you
Oh,
chose
wow.
banjo as your passion.
He's trying to take the place of that one alt-right Mumford and Sons dude that had to leave, probably. He's like, it's my
Yeah.
time. It's my time.
Yeah.
Spanish man, yep.
I'm joining Mumford, and I will be his sons.
I've got a banjo in the other room, so we can make this happen.
Oh my God.
God.
It's old and in need of like a major touch up, but I have it.
Are you going to be playing it on a future As Time Fades song? Because now it seems like
Now you
We'll
have
see.
to.
Maybe we have to do like a Never Shout Never cover. 'Cause
Oh
they
my
did some
God.
banjo in their stuff.
it did. Banjo, mandolin, just toss all the random little instruments in there.
You
It's
throw
like
in a
fun
harp.
little elements.
You could throw in the harpsichord if you need it. My friend has one for. I have no idea why. She's had a harpsichord since we graduated high school. And I was like,
I love
what
it.
are you doing with it? She's like, it's just here. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like when the moment comes, you'll know why.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
like ready for it. She's ready. She's ready. So you guys also did a song with Elbow Room, and the song was Invisible. Can you tell us about how that collaboration kind of came up?
Who brought that up first?
I don't even remember at this
Skylar.
point.
Was it Skylar? I think it was you that like in first was like, hey, we should bring, or maybe it was Danny who did that.
It was
I
one of
can't
us.
forget.
So I
One of
knew
you two was like, hey, we should do this.
when we were like, hey, let's do a breakdown where that breakdown happens before it's actually written. I was like, oh, I can't scream yet, but we know a couple singers that can, and like we floated around like Settle Your Scores. They're down in Columbus. And then I don't know who said it, but they're like, hey, let's get like Benjamin from Elbow Room. We know he can scream, and we're friends with him. And like he came in, knocked it out in like 5 minutes, and we're like, oh fuck yeah, this is it. This is what I needed.
Yeah, I remember when he walked into the booth, he screamed it, and we were all like so excited. And,
We're like,
and Scooter was like, these guys all just came.
Well, he fucking just went in there and literally 2 tries, he was fucking out of there. He was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
home. I'll see you.
Yep.
See you at the music video. Bye.
just
I can't wait.
insane.
Can't wait to play it live.
Oh yeah,
What a
that's
show.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
And that he's gonna do it again, and I don't know.
I don't know what's gonna
I
happen.
just don't know what I'll do, man.
I just can't. I can't bet that I could
Actually,
control
it's just me.
myself. So now with that, do you guys have a show planned relatively soon?
Yes, yes, we do. We can't talk about when or where, but yes.
We're gonna have a hard
and we're
time
working on
promoting it
some,
then.
some future ones. Yeah, we can't promote it, unfortunately, but we can't talk about this because it's our only release show. Like October, November time frame, we're doing a release show, probably in Lakewood.
See, well, we got that at least.
Yeah,
And
we
who
got
knows?
that,
yeah.
You may need to have to put like a PG-13 rating on it too, because we don't know how anybody's going to
Yeah.
react. So
Yeah.
It just sounds wonderful.
It's like a teen comedy where you're watching it, but it's like there's nothing really that bad, but it's like you also, may not want to invite your parents.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of like discomfort there.
It's like, have your parents already watched like the latest like uncomfy anime series and they've done okay with it? And then go with it. I only had that reference because one of my friend's mom watches uncomfy anime series.
Yeah.
With them,
Okay,
and I'm like,
what?
I don't think I like that.
An anime mom?
You know what? I think my friend's mom's doing great. I think she's just really into Black Butler right now. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's just
hold on.
vibing. Yeah.
I've never run into any parents that are into anime.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't. She started telling me, she's like, oh, she likes the volleyball boy. I don't know really anything about anime, so like the way that she tells me it, that's the way I'm gonna say it. The volleyball boy anime. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
could
know
watch
either.
some of that.
I don't know. I know a couple animes, but I don't know about the volleyball boys.
I've definitely
The-
watched the Volleyball Boys one, I think, one time. I've got I have a friend that is like heavy into anime, and like he unfortunately moved out of state, so now I don't get to just go to his place and just he goes, "You want to watch this weird one?" I'm like, "Yeah, man.
This
Have
weird
me
one?
here, let's watch a weird one." There's one
Yes.
where, and I mean it's anime, right? So we all understand that it's anime. Girls fight with
That's
their
it.
boobs and their butts, and
I saw that one.
The-
My brother showed it to me.
yeah.
I
See?
feel
You're
like that's
"You
a
wanna
lot
see
of
weird
them."
one?"
It was very weird.
Want to see a weird one? You're like, oh god.
Hey, when it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
animes are just fucking weird. I mean, this
Yeah.
is kind of like the nature.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna
is-
watch it and be like, "This is gonna be a completely normal show. Nothing weird is gonna happen." You're never gonna go in thinking that ever.
It's my favorite thing about it because
Oh my
it's just mind blowing. Where you're like, somebody thought of this. Somebody put
It's
this.
like,
Somebody
I
had
actually just
time and
started
money to
watching,
make this.
The Venture Bros today because I've had some friends that
Yes.
have been telling me to watch that. Oh, that's a weird one.
Dude, I love that show. That's like American anime where it's like this is weird and it's very like strange pop culture, like
Yep.
American pop culture sort of references. Like when they reference Depeche Mode one episode, I'm just like, no
What?
one is gonna get this. No one's gonna understand. No one's gonna understand why the woman with a very, very, very low voice says, "Is that the guy from Depeche Mode?" It's like, why are we?
Oh my god.
For?
wow. Amazing.
Oh my god.
I'm a big fan of Venture Brothers.
I can't. I think the only anime that we were debating watching, I think it's on Netflix, is Castlevania. Like me and my
Oh,
girlfriend were
you
looking at
gotta
it
do.
earlier. I
You
think we were
gotta
gonna
do
watch that,
Castlevania.
yeah.
You gotta do
Yeah.
it. You gotta
Because
do
we
it.
played like all of like the newer like Castlevania games, and they're super fucking good. So we want to play, watch that actual anime because it looks cool.
It's super good. I remember watching the first season because I think it was only like 3 or 4 episodes in like a night. And it got me hooked. And I'm still trying to
Yeah.
finish the last season because I take forever to
Okay.
watch TV shows. But it's worth it. It's really good. And the dialogue
Cool.
is kind of silly. So like it's like really gory is the other thing.
Yeah.
It's like, so you have to be okay with it. It's like if you ever watch Attack on Titan, you have to be okay with like a lot of gore.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I know that it's messed up. The entire fucking series is just a shit show.
Yeah.
It's just how
It's
it is, you know?
vampires. It's Dracula.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
That we
Yeah.
somehow got to there from talking about your release show, so I don't know how we got.
So is the release
if-
show anime themed? Do you have to dress up?
Yeah.
It's on October. It's maybe
No.
October,
Now that-
November. Listen.
Now
Now
you
that
s-
happened, like
Yeah.
we might have to. I was a
should.
fan of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh
so
my
I
God.
like it. I
Maybe
like
I'll
it.
get like the full like iron outfit and just.
It seems like the most uncomfortable outfit to play bass in.
Dude,
Yeah,
where the
can you
fuck
tell
are
us
we?
anybody who's playing it, or are you still like getting it set up, or?
We're not sure yet. We've got a list, and we just got to see who's available. But it'll just be like a bunch of cool people that we're cool with from the Cleveland scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got a lot of friends.
We're gonna hit
Yeah.
up.
We're getting there, yeah, we're
gonna hit up
working on
state
it.
champs. We're gonna hit up.
Obviously.
We're gonna hit up.
Yeah.
That's
everything.
crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be state champs neck deep and like knuckle puck and like
Yeah, they're
Belmont.
opening for us. Don't
Yeah, of
forget.
course.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, obviously.
You,
They
you
don't
think
know
you
what's
think
coming.
21 Pilots can roll through real quick too? Like
They're not
yeah,
busy.
like,
I
fun
think
stuff.
Get the
they gotta
disco.
be free.
Probably.
Anik,
Oh yeah.
My Chemical Romance is coming. Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
be.
Yeah.
exactly.
that's
First
the
show
reunion
back,
set.
baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fucking
It's gonna be a
show, man.
small show.
Everybody
So
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just small bands. We thought we'd help them out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Doors
That's
doors
so
at 9
nice.
p.m.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good way to get me to not come to your show.
Five band Bill.
I'm out
At
of bed by 9.
Five band Bill. Let's
Yeah.
go.
It's like, y'all want to pull an all-nighter?
Guys, we haven't had shows in like over a year and a half. Come on, you can't be picky. You gotta
Yeah.
take it.
Exactly.
I'm picky. Are you guys like? I mean, you mentioned that at the beginning. Your passion is obviously live music and playing music, and I'm sure you're all feeling like antsy. We
Yes.
Oh,
we
yeah.
just had Lollapalooza here, which it happened, and let's just leave it there. But it was like pretty nice to have live music in some capacity again.
Yes, it's been wonderful. I've been to 3 shows now since they've opened back up here in Ohio, and it's just been like super high energy every time. It's just so nice to be back at it. I'm just ready to get on a stage again because
Yes.
I didn't realize how much joy I got out of it until it was taken away, and I was like, oh fuck, I missed this.
I'm just
a year
nervous.
and a half now. No, you're
Yeah.
good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just nervous, I mean, it's been so long since we've been on a stage in front of people, but I am very excited. Just hope it goes well. Go back.
You can't think about it like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna go well.
Yeah.
There you go.
There
Positive
you
outlook.
go.
There you go. Positive outlook. It's gonna be all right.
You have to do the things that the astrology crystal girls do and like manifest and hope for the best,
Yes.
You could also not do that if you chose to not do that.
Also,
That sounds
don't do that,
yeah. Also, don't do that. I think like
Just don't get in your head and like freak
just
out.
yeah, just
We don't want you there.
no.
I'm manifesting now.
He's
Yes.
he's running out right after this interview and getting some like rose quartz. Is that what they use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toby's
Something.
charging his crystals
Get
right
some
now.
rocks.
I was in the backyard. Look what I found.
Going to my yard.
Those are pieces of
Random
glass.
ass pebble? Yeah.
This is it.
I remember there was a few years ago I was seeing this guy and he was like, "Oh, you're not into like that weird crystal shit," and I really didn't understand what that meant at the time. I was like, "What crystal?" She's like, "The rocks." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then one of my friends is really into the crystal shit and astrology shit, and I was like telling her about it. She's like, "What? He doesn't believe in the crystals?" And I'm like, "What? You do? You do?"
Don't.
No
Just
hate to
don't.
the crystal
Don't.
listeners up there. I just don't understand it.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Toby,
manifesting
we
helps.
support your decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that pebble off the side of the road. You let
Yeah.
us know how it goes,
No,
okay?
no, I'm looking at a couple right now. Right
Oh my
outside.
God.
I can see it. I'm gonna get it. Right after
Use your
this.
pebble.
You have to
Oh
charge
my
it.
God.
Leave it in the
I want
in the
pictures, I'm
sunlight.
serious.
Okay,
You send
I'll
us
send you-
pictures right after. I want to
Don't
see it.
worry.
You're gonna
Okay,
post
I'll-
it. You're gonna post it to the band's like Instagram stories and just be like, charge manifesting. That's it. No other
One
comments,
rock.
just
Like,
manifest.
what?
Just gotta write that down.
Oh my god.
Content.
This is on you, man.
What?
You gotta take that picture.
Yeah.
It's your
No,
pebble.
Skylar-
It's your
Skylar
destiny.
is like he's our like social media manager. He does all. I don't know how to do that.
I don't know
I'm
how to
gonna
do
make
that.
picture.
I'm gonna make a really bad tweet.
You
and
just
nobody's
take
gonna
a
like
picture
it.
and you write manifesting, and that's
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I'm manifesting a good tweet now.
oh god.
It's gonna happen.
There
Some
you
of
go.
our best tweets have been me just shit posting.
Honestly,
Like,
that's
just
how it works.
Do whatever.
Just put it out, and just no one's gonna have context. You're gonna be like subtweet it, and you're gonna be like, all right, so you have to listen to when this fucking episode comes out on Monday to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like check back in like under a week. You know?
You guys don't know what we're talking about. Thanks for coming to our
That's the
Twitter
teaser.
profile. I do. I feel like most shows are selling out right now. I've been like kind of shocked that like it feels like it's just a supply and demand curve. I'm really going to take all the energy out of this podcast now just by talking about economics.
No, go
so
for it. I'm a huge nerd. Go for it.
cool. The supply and demand curve feels like right now there's no supply and heavy demand for like
Yes.
getting out there and doing a show. So like I've just seen like every show is selling out. Things that like, bands that haven't played a show yet are selling out shows just because they're like, we formed within the last year. The music is good. Come to the show. And everybody's like, yep, I'm free that day.
Like,
I'm free.
there, yeah.
I got the whole
Please
future ahead
give
of me.
Something. My serotonin levels are too low.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please, for the love of God.
that's how it was at a. So I went to my first hardcore show in Cleveland on
Ooh.
Friday, and like 5 of the 6 bands that were playing formed over the pandemic, had never played a show. They had like a couple singles or an EP out between all of them, and like the place was packed.
Hmm.
It was just insane. I was like, oh, this is fucking sick. I'm glad I came out, and it was 6 sets of awesomeness.
It's like going to shows when I was in high school that were like full of these terrible bands that like I this is like before you could really clout chase, but there were like people that you just knew in person that were like, oh, we're gonna go check out this like local hardcore show, and you go there and it'd be 2 screamers, a drum kit, and a terrible guitarist, and like that's the show. You're like, what is happening? Are all bands like this? Is this music? And at this point in my life, I'm like, give me that show right now.
Yes.
I want that show in a garage, and I will be there, and I'll buy 4 tickets.
All for myself.
Just to feel something.
Yeah.
I'll hand them out on the street, and everybody will go, yeah, thank you. I'm coming to that show.
Like, absolutely. Then the cops get called because it wasn't clear with neighborhood ordinance.
But
And
then they're
everyone's at a
vibing.
dash, and you're like,
It's like,
This
oh,
is it.
that's what I've been missing.
You just miss live music, man. You know?
I literally.
Yeah, I've seen shows sell out for like November. Like
Yeah.
they're already sold out. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I saw a tweet. I forget what band it was, but they were just like the opener for a local show, and they sold out of all of their merch, like completely.
Cliff Diver.
Cliff
Yeah.
Diver.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was the Cliff Diver show in Tulsa. Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm not sure if they just did a lot of merch or if they actually just like really sold a ton. But it's awesome.
It's good to hear that people, I mean, with a lot of disposable income that hopefully people have, that they're at least putting it into art and artists and music and
Yes.
kind of giving that passion back to everybody, right? Like, we miss music, we miss going to shows, and I miss buying merch and giving it to bands so they can
Yeah.
get to the next place or like make their new EP or whatever it is. But it's like, yeah, nice. We actually have like the right idea behind this now.
Yeah, I've seen like so much support, like in person and like online, of people just like supporting small bands who are like trying to do something. It's really cool to see.
Yep. I hope everybody, like all the bands, come out with vinyl and just like have them at their shows, because I want to start a vinyl collection for no reason, and I will totally buy a lot of vinyls.
do you at least have a record player?
No.
I have a confession to make. I've got like 20 vinyl right now. Still don't have a record player.
Oh,
Wow.
I just got them.
Well,
I
Danny,
just got
hey,
him.
Danny's on that
Yeah,
one. He's
I got the
it.
record player.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good.
you're a
So
record
I'm gonna
player.
take my like vinyl over to his so we
Yeah.
can like, sit down and have a listening party.
Have a vinyl party at my
Just-
place. Yeah.
Just make sure that just make sure you know whose is whose, because God forbid you guys ever like are not in the band or are not homies anymore, and then those get split. It's like a custody battle.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, that Gami Gang double record's mine, I swear.
I lost a Childish Gambino because the internet vinyl and an MSI Tighter
no.
vinyl. When I broke up with my
Oh.
ex I dated for 6 years, and I was like, this was
Oh.
bad. I'm never doing this again. This is worse than maybe like pet custody.
Dating or bringing
something.
vinyls to your boyfriend's house? Which aren't you doing again?
I mean, maybe both.
Yes.
These are future things to keep in mind, everybody.
My heart was broken once. I'm never doing it again.
When
I
you
want those
lose a
vinyls back.
original because the internet copy and an original
that's-
repressing
that
of Tighter
sucks.
by mindless self-indulgence, you learn. No Boo Boo the Fool anymore.
Yeah. No. That Gambino record. I'm
Yeah.
so upset for you.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it
I love
hurts.
Gambino.
I know. I was like, boy, the fuck.
Like, please, just
Yeah.
give me it.
Like, is it a situation where you can't just like go over there wielding a knife? It can be dull.
Wow,
That's-
this
it's
really
just
escalated.
well, like
It's
I
like a
thought that
prop
was gonna
knife.
be
It's a
me.
prop
It's a
knife.
prop
I thought that was
knife.
gonna be me, Brian. You really
No,
escalated
no.
this yourself.
well, I mean, I did, but I want you to have it back and I want you to do the work, but I don't want anyone to ever have actually been at risk. So like, I want them to go, oh shit, yeah, here you go, and then like, we're fine, move on.
I don't know if I could go to. Unless I heard they were in Arizona. I don't really want to go there.
Ooh.
Road trip.
And
Road trip.
No, and they are also 6'3", so.
Oh, I'm
Road trip.
6'5". Let's go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That's the opposite. We got to drive the opposite direction to pick you up, but we're coming and we're taking you with us.
Could you imagine like a homie pop punk road trip to get the Beginning Internet vinyl back?
To go threaten a guy you haven't spoken to.
That's
Find us,
amazing.
please.
MTV, you need drama in your reality show? Let's go.
Keeping
Somebody
up
called
with
that.
As Time Fades.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This summer, an Emo Social Club podcast and a pop punk band named As Time Fades journey to Arizona.
But that's just
The
one
weirdest
part.
road rules season.
Yeah. It's the first of many fantabulous chapters.
Exactly. Every time we hit like a crossroads, we're like, I can't believe this happened. I can't
Yeah.
believe. And it's 15 minutes before a commercial break that is 8 minutes long. And we're like, oh man, I can't figure out how to change a tire. Our tire's fucking flat.
Yes.
For the purposes of the recording, I don't actually want Lizzie to threaten a man with a knife.
Oh, yes.
Gonna,
Yes.
gonna put that out there. I do want her to get her record back, and I will add by any means necessary, but I don't want that to happen. If it does happen, I didn't say it.
It's an asterisk. There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making a quick note in the time codes to delete everything I've said on this episode and continue.
Oh no, my
like,
mic
wow.
wasn't recording.
I'm gonna
oops.
post
I
this
was never
episode
you.
specifically on my LinkedIn because I still have that dude's stepmom on my LinkedIn network for some weird reason. I'm just gonna be like, hey,
Oh.
hey, what's up?
Where's my childish record?
Maybe she can get the vinyl back for you.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
can you be a real one?
There you go.
Can you just media mail it back? It's no worries. And I need nothing else from this. I need
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so this EP has a lot of really deeper meanings to it, especially from your press release. It has like love loss and like anger at injustice because obviously there was a lot of writing going on leading up to what was happening prior to COVID with a lot of just like injustices going on like the socioeconomic level, but then also following with like, BLM protests and other things that had happened just this past year and a half. How have these kind of things like integrated into your music and your storytelling in the lyricism?
Damn, that's a great question.
So,
So,
question.
like, for me, even though I'm like part of the like creative team for writing these songs, because like we write the instrumentals together, we write the lyrics together, like in that moment the song may mean one thing, and then like fast forward 1 year later, we're into the pandemic, I attached like new meaning to the songs even though I was there when the song was made. So like I think just for me, some of like the topics like anxiety and like feeling like you're in a shit situation like can now be tied to like the past year. And there's also good things like Meant to Be is kind of like a, hey, we're like trying to pursue this crazy dream of like doing music for a career. And like, despite what any of our naysayers may be saying, like we're doing it because the four of us love it and like we're best friends and we just want to keep doing this thing. It's like there's positive moments in there, but just like I feel like I tie a lot of that emotion from where I'm at in my life to the music, which is why I love it. And like I do that with any music I listen to. I'm like, oh fuck, that feels like this, or that feels like the BLM movement, or that feels like how shit I felt during COVID and not getting to see people. So I just like affix a lot of emotion to various songs at different stages in my life.
Well said.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's a wrap.
All right. Good question. Good answer. Yeah, I didn't want to step on your toes there. If you wanted to say anything else, as the singer, are you writing a lot more of the lyrics then, or is it very split, or how do you?
How we started doing the lyrics is before it used to be just like me and Danny would kind of just like bounce these lyric ideas off of each other, and then we would just come to Skyline Toad and be like, hey, we have lyrics, and they're like, cool, let's write something. But nowadays we actually like sit down together and like really try and, you know, come up with something that we like all, you know, not necessarily something that like makes sense, but like something that like means something to us as like a group, rather than just like someone just pulling something out of their ass and then just like, hey, we're gonna write a song about it. I guess would be my answer to that question.
Yeah, I mean, they're not all like that either. Sometimes, like Dan will come in. He came in with counterweight, basically, those lyrics. Or sometimes I come in with just like a chorus, and then I need help with the rest of the song. But yeah, a lot of it is just a group effort, and it is something that means something to all of us, and that helps with the music aspect of it too. Then we could deliver it better than what we would have if it was just a single person writing lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels a bit more like truthful for the art, like with the four of us bringing in our own whatever emotion or past event that we're pulling into it. The songs just feel a bit more like lived in. That is, if you saw that look Danny and I shared, that's the name of a song that is in the graveyard of our songs right now.
Oh yeah.
A lot of those.
There's a lot of dead songs.
Yeah.
No, are they dead
good.
because they were really bad, or are they dead just because you were like, no more?
Let's say at first because they were really bad, but now it's more so like they're just not what we're looking for.
Yeah, they're
They
not
just don't
us.
fit with the sound that we have now. They're not us.
Yeah, their
Before,
sound.
I could agree with it. Yeah, they were just bad, but it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, they're musically sound. It's just not what we wanted to put out as the band.
Yeah, I feel like there were a lot of songs, we wrote that we had like this big whiteboard with, the titles of all the songs we were working on.
Yep.
And we have like the date last played and everything just to keep track of everything. And I feel like a lot of times we'd write something, put it on the board, and then forget about it because we just didn't care that much about it. Other songs sounded better. So eventually they just fall off the board and, die forever. But
That whiteboard was a savior, man. I mean, it really kept us on track.
Yep.
Seriously. Be surprised the number of things a whiteboard can do.
Yeah.
And
It's fantastic.
people forget like how much writing something down can help you get shit
Seriously.
done.
Oh yeah.
Including myself. But I need you all to give advice to people on how you can come together and do that, and like everybody puts egos aside and everybody writes together and nobody's like precious about shit, because I need help.
Oh,
I need to teach other people how to do that.
It's not easy. Like we're four
No, not at
now
all.
sort of grown ass adults trying to get our schedules to work like around this thing. And at the end of the day, like you guys gotta like, people out there looking to make music with others, is establish like, do you want this to be like a 4-part project? Do you want one person to be like, this is my band, I'm bringing you into it, we're gonna collaborate, but I'm gonna like spearhead the project? Like you got to establish early up front like what type of roles you're looking for in a band, and then just have a love for creating. Like I know it's super fucking broad, but that's really all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go into it like splitting it evenly, basically, you gotta trust everybody else that you're with like a lot. You gotta trust everybody.
yeah,
Be
like,
willing to take criticism for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
that's a really, really big one. Like when
We
you
struggle
come up
with
with an
that.
idea that you are super like, you're like, God, this idea is so good. I can't wait to show it to these guys. And then you show it to them, and then they're just like, it's not that great. You gotta like, fuck. Okay, why? Why not? You gotta, be willing to just like work with your bandmates and just make it work.
Yeah, there's a lot of trust in that, and like, hey, I'm trusting you to tell me if it's not good, and vice versa. I'm trusting you to like not take that as a personal attack or anything. It's just, we can make this thing better. Hi, Danny.
We lost Danny for a second.
Arrived.
Love it.
Yeah, it's like I found that it's like so many people are so attached to their idea that like it has become, in my experience, it's just become so difficult for for people to work together. I feel very fortunate that like Lizzie and I work really well together, and we split those tasks and we make it happen. But like, it just feels like when you're doing something that is so emotional because you're writing about your experiences and your feelings, it's like as soon as you come in and you're like, yo, this is what this makes me feel, and somebody goes, I don't like it, you're like, but I feel it, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how do you get past that to where you're like, no, we're creating together, and it's only to make things better, and like trying to break down that barrier.
It's a lot of compensation, I think. When you come with an idea and everyone's really not feeling it, you try and just like make it work with everyone, I guess. Like if you really feel that strongly about it, like I think the way that we started doing it is like, just humor me,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, I think this is going to be really good. And they're just like, well, I don't really think it's going to sound that great. Or like, I don't know, it might not work. Just be like, just try it. If you don't like it, whatever, like just let's try, humor me. That's kind of the way that I like to do it. Cause then like, if we play it and even I'm just like, oh, maybe it's not that great, then it's fucking gone. And that's it.
Yeah, and we like saved all those iterations as well, because like all the songs started off at like a very different point than where they're at now. It's kind of like, okay, we have this cool, like Danny might have this cool lead, or Dan found this cool like rhythm pattern. Let's build off of that. Okay, it's usable. Let's go back and make it sound better. Like what each element of this song, how can we bring forth its best quality as we're rewriting and polishing this song into like the finished product.
And I think it kind of takes time, going back to like the collaboration part. Like when we were a lot younger, like in our teenage years, I remember I used to get pretty irritated at everybody when they would tell me to change my drum parts, but now a couple of years later, it's just like, we're all such good friends, and I trust that their criticisms or whatever they want to say, like it's coming from like a good place, and it's not just like, hey, you suck.
Right.
Toby, you're a damn good drummer.
Yeah. So, you just gotta like trust everybody, and honestly, like, I'm sure solo projects work really well where so like one person's writing, but I really wouldn't have it any other way than what we have now, which is everybody works together. It just, I don't know, it just feels right. Not to get cheesy.
Aww.
Jesus. No, there is magic that comes together when like you find the right group of people and you're creating everything with one another. I don't think there's like a perfect way of doing it, but I do think that there is. I guess that's not true. The perfect way of doing it is being understanding and open-minded and giving time to other people's ideas and creating with that group. That'd be the perfect way to do it. It's just like stay open-minded to what anybody says. I'm talking to you from experience from my old band, but I'm also talking to you experience of like, because I'm rejoining some of those guys in a band and they're like really close friends of mine, but I'm just like, son of a bitch. This is all the same problems.
They're about to listen to this episode. They're gonna be like, Brian, you got beef? What's up, boy?
I don't think we'd have as many problems if they listened to my fucking podcast. Okay, Lizzie?
Sometimes like you gotta just sit down and like have a talk on like what you want to do, because we had to do that like before we jumped into this like fully into this EP writing process. We were like, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to just like play music to play music? Do you want to try and make this a thing? Like where's everyone's heads at? And once we figure that out, we're like, okay, we actually want to try this, and we're like, it's gonna cost a lot of money. But if we want to do it, if we want to do it, we can. Everyone's got to be like full in. Like the end goal is to quit our day jobs. Work, if you're listening, that was a joke. But the end goal is to quit our day jobs.
Take a time code there to edit that out. Just seeing.
Lots of asterisks here. Lots of asterisks here, guys.
Yeah, this is a comedy podcast. This is a good play.
Don't get people fired. Okay.
Satire. Great, guys.
I've worked at jobs before and said like, I'm a musician, and there's like, it's fucking cool, man. Like that's awesome. Like whatever you need. And then I've worked other jobs and they're just like, I don't know what you want me to do for you. Like, what do you want from me? You can find that world. It works really well. But also, I think having that sort of like, I know we're all on the same page and I know we're all working towards that same goal is like so big. Working in anything, working together with anybody.
you guys had quite a few premieres with Adobe Radio and also on just being featured on Alex Plays Punk, which is one of our UK DJ friends actually. So it's really cool
heck yeah.
to see that you guys have been getting a lot of notoriety recently. So how has that kind of been? Has that just been from them just pulling it out after seeing it on Twitter, or has it just been from them and your your publicity reach outs? Wow, that was a hard word for some weird reason.
Publicity.
Yeah. So Adobe came about, like, we worked with a publicist. His name's Jesse Lee. He works out of Cleveland, and like we had a past relationship with a podcast that's hosted by Adobe called Spinning Thoughts.
Yes.
One of the founders, Angelo, we like connected with him a while back. Like, I think it was when Paid For came out in 2018. We like connected with him a couple months after that. And like we were like talking, like shooting the shit. We're like, hey, how's the review coming along? He's like, good. And it's like, hey, did you find like a premiere spot yet? And it's like, no, we're still like waiting on stuff. Like, we got a couple leads. And he's like, I could pass like the stuff along to the Adobe team. Like, just send me like a couple links and whatnot. So we got that together, shot it his way. And then we told like Jesse the following week, like, hey, we like sent it to Adobe via one of our connections, like a good friend of ours. He's like, okay, cool. I also have a friend over there. Let me also get them working on it. And like, we got an email like during lunchtime. They're like, hey, Adobe wants to do this like 2-way premiere with you. And we're like, what? Like, they're like, yeah, they want to do a radio spot and then a video spot. And I was like, excuse me, huh? So that just kind of like came together by like our 2-prong attack.
Yeah.
And then Alex Plays Punk, like, I emailed her a while ago, just like, hey, singles out. Hey, second singles out. Hey, EP's out. And then I also sent her our stuff on Instagram. She's just like, hey, drop some music recommendations. I was like, Alex, I love you. Like, here's our EP. She's like, and then she reached out. She's like, hey, I want to play your stuff on like our premiere show. And I was like, huh? It's like, because I've been following like that show for like a year now. And like We Wear Black podcast, when that started up, I was like, oh, sick. So like I was fangirling when she's like, hey, I want to play your song. And I was like, what? So that one was just more so like by happenstance. She heard it at like the proper time, but very cool stuff.
Feels like there's a lot more of that willingness to work with, like, I don't know, just anybody. If you like a song, it's like I'm putting it on. Like, it always felt like, you know, you're never going to get anywhere just by writing good songs. You have to do all this other work. But like, I feel that a lot of people that were told that are now in places where they're like, nah, fuck that. I'm playing music I like.
Yes. Yeah. Like the whole like ethos surrounding that show is so cool. It's like, I'm going to find only small bands. I'm going to showcase them. I'm like, that's so cool. Like, it's real sweet to see. Because like other channels are a bit harder, like your cold call emailing major publications. They're like, I don't know if they'll ever see this, but we're gonna send it out there and see what happens.
Dear Anthony Fantano.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Hi.
Dear Mr. Mellon.
Yeah.
Can we get a light 3 on this, please?
light
For the love
3.
of God.
If he ever trashes us, if he ever trashes anybody I know, I'm gonna be like, oh hell yeah, that's awesome. You
It's
got
like,
trashed
fuck.
by Fantano.
Yes, they made
Yes.
it.
Hey, bad press is good press. It's fine.
It's
Yes.
on Fantano. You know, people pay attention to him, and like I know that there's like this thought in the pop punk realm, the emo realm, the rock music realm, where it's like give back to the community that you came from, and there's like a little bit of that hate on MGK because they're like, oh, he's not really giving back to the community he came from, and it's like he didn't necessarily come from this community.
Yeah.
Like he kind of did, but also like didn't.
Not really.
And he's Ohio, right? Is he?
Yeah, he's
Yep,
from Cleveland.
He's a
Yeah.
Cleveland
Yeah,
guy.
okay. So I don't know if like you're feeling that, being that like it's like you would be that band, right? Like you're from the scene, but it's like, is there that responsibility that just kind of comes with the territory, or is it really like certain people will feel that way and certain people won't? Like, where do you guys land on that then?
I'll let you guys take this one away.
Yeah.
And then I'll weigh in at the end.
I think we will give back to the community. I've always watched, like, growing up, I've always watched those like YouTube videos of like famous people just bringing up random fans up on stage. I've always wanted to do that, just like play my song. or sing or do whatever. But yeah, I would definitely think that we would give back. The whole thing with MGK, yeah, he wasn't really part of the pop punk scene here. He just did the rap stuff, and he was big with the rap scene here. I know. So I think he gave back to the Cleveland rap scene, and I think he gave back to Cleveland in general. I think he loves this place so much. I think it's gotten so much better publicity lately. It's still Cleveland, so you can only get so far here. But I think this Cleveland is growing in just the music scene in general, in all sorts of genres.
Yeah, I can go next, I guess. I would really hope we would too, just because, being in a band on the outside right now, kind of, I mean, kind of on the outside, if somebody just gave us like the chance to play a bigger show or just like kind of retweeted us or something, just anything, like just something little, like it would really make my day. And I feel like it would help a lot. So it just seems like such a small thing to do. If we make it to that level, I would definitely give back.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not as well versed with the whole MGK thing, whatever's going on there. But I've always loved like the community aspect of like I think I can't remember for the life of me what this dude's name is, but he likes to draw. He used to draw like art with like our lyrics and like a little picture and stuff like that. I don't know if any of you guys remember who this guy is.
I don't remember his name.
I think his Instagram handle was like McCallum or something.
Is it like
we
Rock
sent him merch.
Bottom or something like that?
Yeah, Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
I think his real
right.
name's like McCallum or something. But we sent him stuff a while ago. I hope he's still out there listening.
Yeah, but like I agree with Toby though. Like it seems like something that's like so like small. Like I have no problem doing that. You know what I mean? Like it's not an issue. I don't think I would not give back. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, for me, like I try to give back even now being a baby band on the outside looking in and all the big boys. We have like the Saving the Scene playlist, which is like literally just me finding like Twitter bands and like bands who discover weekly where I'm like, oh, look, they're doing the thing. Let's gonna put them on this list. And like the few people that follow us be like, hey, check it out. You might like them too. But like if we got big, like I'd love to. I know it's a lot of work because there's a lot of music out there, but I'd love to like try and find like the small bands who are like trying actively and like writing cool music. Be like, hey, join us on North American run. Let's go. Pack your bags.
Yeah,
Guess what? You're going on tour.
Yeah, like just the community aspect of being like, whether it's a local scene or a larger regional scene, it's just fun to like go to shows and be like, oh, hey, I saw you at like the gig last week. Hey, I saw you at like the show a couple like months ago. Like, it's just fun to be like, hey, I know you. I know your face. You played in that one band a couple years ago, right? Like, it's just super cool to like see people continually coming out and supporting small acts, medium acts, large acts. Like, it's just fun stuff. And like, I want to give back into that because like pop punk wouldn't be what it is without like that community aspect, I don't think.
Yeah, one thing I would love to do is if we did get a big headlining tour and we were like this huge band or whatever, I would love, my goal would be to have at least one local opener for each show that we do.
Yes.
Along with the touring bands that we have brought on.
Yes.
I think that's something that I've noticed kind of like fall off. Obviously, COVID has made things more difficult, but I know I used to like see a lot of bands go on tour and they're like, oh, we'll take like this certain band on like Midwest routes, or like every single show they would have local acts opening for them. And I just haven't seen that recently. So I really like bringing that back and like kind of keeping that culture going.
Yes.
Yeah, like that'd be so sweet.
It's just already so fucking hard to get your name out there to begin with. You know what I mean? Like it's everything helps. You know.
Yeah. I mean, even if it wasn't us, even if it was like another like band that we're friends with, be like, fuck yeah, yes.
Yeah. Look, please. You know?
Anyone that we know like from the scene, like get up there, get your recognition, please.
Like take the competition out of it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a competition at all.
I don't think so.
When we first started, like I was like, oh, if we don't beat out the other bands for shows, like then we lose an opportunity. But now like a year into doing this with the band, I was like, oh fuck, like why would it be a competition? Like we should all just like lift each other up. So like that's where I'm at. I'm like, anyone who's making sick music, get out there.
Yeah, to add to that, it doesn't fucking help that we were doing Battle of the Bands for our first like 6 months of shows. Like, dude, oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
That doesn't help anybody. Like, that was our idea of a show back then. And then we fucking got introduced. I forget where we went. I think it was Mahal's, honestly.
The Rock Bar.
It was the Rock Bar. And we
yeah.
started playing. We're just like, wow, no one is like shitting on each other. Wow, this is really weird.
Yeah. Completely different vibes.
So fucking stupid.
Note everybody, no more Battle of the Bands. It is not great.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't help anybody. It's worth.
No.
It's just not worth your time.
But I was just going to add that, like Twitter is actually, obviously can be a horrible site, but also it can be great sometimes because, I mean, we've made a lot of band friends on Twitter and just like, especially friends that or bands that are kind of on our level too. So it's nice to see the growth in like, just our little community of people that we know. But yeah, it's awesome.
I like it. It makes me feel old because I'm like, all I ever did, not even battle the band style, was just compete with other. My, guitarist being like, well, they're half bigger than mine. Like, no one gives a shit, man. Like, audience doesn't care. They don't like us because our music is bad, not because your guitar is too small. I don't know what you want us to say.
I wish I could show you my lunchbox fucking head. Oh, it's so good. It's a MIDI. It's a micro dark orange head. Oh my god, it's fantastic. It's like a little 30-watt, literally like the size of a fucking lunchbox. It's like this big.
Yeah, and I bet it
Cranks out
sounds
this,
fine at a
fucking
show.
Sound. It's so good.
Yeah, just to play what you're playing, it sounds fine. Like,
Yeah.
put on a good show, write good songs, you're fine.
Yeah.
Everything else is just showing off.
It's always funny because I'll bring it up and people are like, "Oh wow, look at that! That looks really silly." And then I start playing, and they're like,
Yep.
"Holy shit!" Because it creates this kick-ass sound. It's so good.
Yeah.
I know. We'll take a couple more things here, and I'll let you do plugs to wrap it up. But I do want to add that, like, there's always this thing of like teenage girls run the scene, and teenage girls are like the ones that are most in charge of like deciding what music is cool and what music is not, because they're the ones who want to spend money on it. They don't give a shit what your guitar tone is.
Yeah.
They really don't give a shit. They're not going to they may not listen to your band if you have shit guitar tone, but they're more likely to not listen to your band if you have terrible lyrics and bad choruses. Like, way worse.
Nah, they're inspecting pedal boards like, oh,
Yeah.
you're playing a tube screamer? Gross.
Like,
How
can
dare
you
you
look like,
believe?
Sickening.
I mean, as a former teenage fangirl, yeah, I'm not looking at any of that. I'm like, yep. I also can't play an instrument, so I'd be like, "Yep, that looks sick."
Yeah.
Why am I not feeling sad right now in your songs? What the fuck?
Yeah, there will be teen girls who know how to play guitar who might care. I'm not excluding them either, but primarily the majority, the good majority of the audience probably doesn't give a shit about what
there's
your
this
guitar
whole
tone is.
book called Fangirls about it, about like the
You
entire.
had
that.
culture
What
about
the
it.
hell?
Right next to you.
It's right there on your desk. He's ready to
Got
go.
it right here.
You're like, I've been waiting for this
I
the
also have this
entire
other.
episode.
I also have this Frankenstein one too, so
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm
Time
ready
code
to go.
sponsor not sponsored. Well, let's let you throw out your plugs and let everybody know where they can find you. You can give your individual ones or just the band, and let everybody know how they can contact you, where they can listen. I'm sure it's mostly Spotify, but you can say it.
Okay, we're on what? Everything?
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple
Everything.
Music,
Google Play, I think.
Bandcamp.
Amazon Music. Bandcamp.
Yeah, we are on all streaming services. We are on Twitter at AsTimeFades, Instagram at AsTimeFadesBand, Facebook at AsTimeFades, YouTube at AsTimeFades.
Don't forget it.
We're everywhere. Come by our Twitter. It's just me shit posting and talking to myself. Oh, yes, we're on
Ooh.
TikTok at
We are.
AsTimeFadesBand.
Yes.
Love
we
it.
just
Oh,
started
yeah.
that.
We
Not
don't know
very good.
what we're doing, but come along for the ride.
Yeah,
please.
there's not a lot. There's not a lot right now, but we're getting there. We're
We have-
figuring it out.
We have
It's a lot
content in the
easier.
You
partner.
know, we're trendy. You know.
That was a how you do, fellow kids moment.
Yeah, start posting
We're
like
not
spicy
even that
takes.
old.
Just
No, we're
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 only
old in their
24.
Dude, I'm gonna be 25 in like I don't even know, 6 months.
Hey, shut up! I'm 25
7 months.
in 4 months
Christ.
and a day,
in a whole day.
Yes.
Ooh.
a
So much
whole
ahead of
day.
you. Driving me crazy.
Ugh.
I mean,
You're
I'm
fucking crazy.
whole 26. I got till December till I hit that 27. So
Okay.
Well,
What day?
the
Colin, correct.
15th.
Oh, I'm the 4th.
She's the fourth.
Sagittarius
We
gang.
love it. Again, the crystals. Where's the crystals, guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Where's the crystal vibe? Toby, where's that pebble?
I told you.
Where's the whole
Toby,
fucking
get that
pebble?
pebble. I mean, right now.
Oh
I
my
want to see that
God.
pebble. Go.
I got the window.
I
Can you
got
come out the
the.
window?
Yes.
I'm serious. I want to see that pebble.
Oh
I'm
my
not
god.
Dan,
I
it's
will
charging.
send it into the band chat.
Send it into Discord.
Oh, I will.
It's
So
charging.
excited.
Yeah.
Charging outside.
Does it charge in the daylight and moonlight? I thought it was one or the other. I don't know.
It's charging in the moonlight
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, it's moonlight. It's a moonlight
Different
rock.
charges.
Okay.
Yep.
Different charges. It's the
Different
same
charges
rock,
for different-
charges.
Obviously.
It's one of those advanced rocks.
The advanced
Yeah.
rock.
You have to pay extra for it.
Oh my god. It's not the
It's
one
like
that
a
like.
charge.
my driveway.
It's not that one that like ruins your life when you get it to like reset it or some crazy shit like that.
Oh yeah.
There's one, it's called like Moldavite, and I remember seeing it because it was like a trend for a bit, and all these people were like, oh, buy this like $30 piece of Moldavite crystal, and they're like, oh, buy it to like make your life better and like remove negative energy, and they're like, parents died, and I'm like, oh fuck.
It's like, oh damn.
Yeah, I was like, that's not a vibe.
Nope.
I don't love this.
I don't like
In
it.
general. In general, I don't care for it, and I find it to be horrifying
Yes.
that people would dedicate time. Much like how people think, oh, the moon, that's why
It's like,
life
hey,
is
guys.
terrible for me. It's like the moon doesn't give a shit about you. The moon is not up here.
Listen, the moon only gives a shit about Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and
The
that's
moon-
it.
The moon is a big rock, so it's all connected.
Oh my god.
Duh.
Sure, all right.
Ooh.
Bam, done.
Yeah.
And it's
With
charged by
sunlight.
sun.
I can't argue
That's
with
it.
that.
Yeah.
Oh god. I'm
Did Danny
finding-
just crack the Crystal Girl's code?
Dude, he figured it
Damn,
out.
Danny.
Megamind energy.
Damn.
I think I need to change career paths, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really.
Big
I
brain.
think
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you need to use.
He's gotta leave.
You have to
after that
use the
shit.
band TikTok to leverage and actually get on Crystal TikTok, and that's how you. That's it.
Oh God.
Again,
I-
or don't.
look, What?
Just don't do
Brian,
that.
the voice of reason.
Don't do that. You could also just not do that.
It's like maybe just fucking just don't. You know, it's
Brian, listen,
Like,
we're
look-
all young, we're all hip. We get it. You're old and you don't get it with the
Oh my
kids,
God.
okay?
I'm
That's
trying
what the
so
kids
hard
want.
not to be gatekeepy about rocks. And I'm like, dude, no.
Somebody's
It's like-
gonna listen to this podcast episode and leave us a negative review about it and be like, they dissed the rocks, they dissed the
They
It's
crystals.
kept
the
rocks.
rocks, man.
We're
One
gonna get like a
stars.
1-star review from somebody who's really upset about the crystals. Don't do that.
I'm gonna hide a rock in my mic stand
My
now.
crystal ball says you guys are a bunch of dicks.
Turns out you're assholes, and I can tell the future. All right. Thank you all for being on the
Oh,
pod
man.
tonight.
Yeah, thanks for
as
having
time
us.
No
fades,
problem. This is great.
Yeah.
is the band. Make sure to go check them out on all the platforms as time fades or as time fades bands. Band. I know it's not plural on the bands. Close
Hey,
enough,
no
find it.
worries.
you know.
I'll find it.
We'll also have, of course, all of the links down in our show notes. Go check out the new EP that just came out, Trust Fall. 1 million listens. Just get it to
Yeah,
a million.
just get it
Just
rolling
A million,
back
please.
Please do.
1 million
Look,
plays.
If we hit 1 million, like I don't know, I'll do some giveaway of
Just
Yeah.
like
strap your friends to a chair, tape the earphones, on their head, and force them to listen to it on repeat for like a week straight,
Yeah.
and then we'll be good. After that,
That's
if,
not a
if
threat.
everyone does that, it's not a threat.
Not a threat.
No threats.
Just-
Asterisks. Asterisks.
alternatively, you
Sounds
could
good.
find a friend and have them listen to it of their own accord.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm merely asking them to do that. That's
just-
not a threat.
We just need 500,000 people to tell their friends, and we're good.
500,000 people tell one person. That's 1 million people.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh no! Yes, yes. And you just have a little stream party.
That's
is
good
the-
Yeah,
math.
that's it.
That is the hardest pyramid scheme I've ever heard.
Oh my god. Hey, but at least you don't have to slide into people's DMs and be like, "Hey, girly, how's
Oh my
life?"
Maybe that's how we do it. All right, slide into one friend's DMs with "Hey, girly." Doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a girl. Can identify by any gender.
Crazy
Hey,
emojis
Slide in
going
there.
on.
What's up?
Hey, girly, check out
Hey
this new
babe,
EP.
haven't talked since high school.
Hey,
Yeah.
girl.
Emoji.
Thought you might dig this band's EP. I could honestly see that one kind of work.
Oh fuck!
'Cause it's like,
we're,
well, at least
we're
it's not like some
as time
weird-
fades, MLM.
Dude, we've been doing marketing wrong this whole time.
Oh my god.
You need 30 to 40-year-old women to just
Yeah.
DM people on Instagram. I love it. As
Oh,
Time
yes.
Fades is the band. Dan, Danny, Skylar, Toby, thank you for being on the podcast tonight. This was an absolute blast. Thank you for the random questions.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having us. This
Yeah,
was
thank you.
amazing.